Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com. In today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make the double crochet. If you've seen in my previous videos, I showed you how to get started with making a slip knot and chain, as well as how to make a single crochet and a half double crochet. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a double crochet. This is the next tallest stitch after the half double crochet, so let's get started. In today's tutorial, you're going to need an H 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. The crochet hook that I'm using today is the Clover or More. I will go ahead and link that below just in case you're interested in purchasing and or checking out my review of this yarn, of this hook. And the yarn that I'm using today is some leftover Caron Simply Soft that I had from a project. So I will go ahead and link that below just in case you want to check out my review of that yarn as well. So as always, to begin, you want to go ahead and make a slip knot. I will link all my videos below just in case you want to refer back to them. Okay, and then for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and make 20 chains. So to make a chain, you're going to do yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. So go ahead and make 20 chains all together. 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so now that you have your 20 chains, you're going to go ahead and start your double crochet. Remember, the loop on your hook does not count. So much like the half double crochet, you're going to start by yarning over your hook. Next, you want to count 3 chains from your hook. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either go in that front loop right here, or you can turn your work and go in that back hump. I prefer to go in the back hump just because I feel like it gives me a little bit of a neater edge, but either way is perfectly acceptable. So again, you want to count 3 chains from your hook, so 1, 2, and 3, and in that third chain from your hook, you're going to insert your hook. Okay, the next thing you want to do is yarn over and pull through that chain that you just went through. 3 loops remain in your hook. Yarn over. You're going to pull through just the first 2 loops on your crochet hook. So 1 and 2. 2 loops remain in your crochet hook. To finish your double crochet, you're going to go ahead and yarn over one more time and pull through the remaining 2 loops. So that is how you make a double crochet. So let's go ahead and do a double crochet in the next chain. So in that very next chain, you're going to yarn over and insert your hook into that chain. Yarn over again and pull through just that first chain you went through. 3 loops remain in your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through just the first 2 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your crochet hook. So go ahead and make a double crochet all the way down until the end of the chain, and I will come back and show you how to continue on to the next row. So after you finish your first row, this is what your first row of double crochets are going to look like. Again, if you started out with 20 chains like I did, you're going to end up with 18 double crochets across. So remember, you just want to go ahead and count the top. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. So you should have 2 less stitches than you started with. So to continue on to the next row, you can do this one of 2 ways. In most patterns, you're going to see a chain 3 and then turn and continue on to your next row. That is perfectly acceptable. However, for me, I prefer to do a chain 2 because I feel like if you do a chain 2 versus a chain 3, you have less of a gap in the beginning of your row. However, sometimes when you're doing certain patterns, say like a chevron stitch, you're going to need that chain 3 at the beginning of each row, just because you want to make sure that you have that height. So it really depends on your preference. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and stick with chain 2 at the beginning of each row versus chain 3. But feel free to do either option, it is perfectly acceptable. So at the end of the row, you're going to do a chain 2 or a chain 3, whatever you prefer, and turn. Now, much like the half double crochet, you're going to go ahead and skip that very first stitch right underneath your crochet hook, and you're going to go into that second double crochet from the previous row. So again, you're going to do yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that second stitch. If you turn your work, you're going to see 2 different loops. You want to make sure that you go in both loops and get the full stitch rather than just getting one of the loops. Then you're going to do yarn over your hook, pull through that stitch, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, and then you're going to do another double crochet in the next stitch. So in that next stitch, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, remember to get that full stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, you want to continue making your double crochets all the way down. When you get to the end, I will show you how to finish that up. Okay, so I'm coming up on the end of the row, and you want to make sure that you don't skip that last stitch right here. If you do, then your work is going to not be in balance on either side. So you really want to make sure that you find that last stitch of the row. And again, if you need to count, you should have 18 double crochets if you started out with 20. So as you can see, this stitch is taller than the half double crochet, and you can see that right here we have 2 rows. So if you want to count, you can count the posts, which is right here. So this is 1 row, and then this is 2 rows. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more rows in order for you to see a little bit more what the stitch is going to look like, and I will meet back up with you in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm coming up on the end of my row, and I did want to mention one more thing. As you make more and more rows, you're going to go into the top of your chain 2 from the beginning of the row. So here you have your chain 2 right here, or if you did a chain 3, it would be the top of the chain 3. So you count 1 and 2, and in that top of the chain 2, or like I said, chain 3, that's where your last stitch of the row is going to be completed. Okay, so I completed 4 rows, so you can kind of see what the double crochet stitch is going to look like. See how if you make a chain 2, you don't have that big of a gap? If you have a chain 3, it's going to be a little bit more noticeable. But again, it all depends on your preference and what pattern you're working with. See, here it is a little bit more up close. So again, my name is Amanda, and I'm from amandacrochets.com. Thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial of how to make the double crochet. Please like and subscribe in order to see any future videos that I may put out. And thank you again for watching. Bye.